Hurts keeps. Hurts cuts. Hurts has the first down. And Jalen Hurts. But he just put it away for the Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
Happy Thursday, everybody, here at the Painted Lines YouTube channel. Guys, today we're doing volume 4 of our Eagles live mock draft simulation. Today we're doing a 4-round, no trade dueling mock. And to do that, I've got my man from Chalk Talk. He is Shane. Follow him on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. What's up, Shane?
Oh, man, I'm excited to get back into draft mode. I've done some mock drafts. I've posted some screenshots of mock drafts on Twitter. Only about 10% of the ones I've done and sent in our Discord, though. But this is my first mock draft on a podcast, so I'm kind of excited to get into it.
It's so much fun. These are my favorite. I did one with your co-host earlier, and it was like 80-20 voting. I crushed him. So what are we doing here? What we do is we're doing a 4-round no-trade mock, and we put these on Twitter and our YouTube channel to be voted on who has the best Eagles live mock. If you're watching us live, please be sure to comment and grade our teams. Instant grades are always fun. And then please be sure to subscribe. So with that being said, Shane, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go ahead and go first. I do want to clarify for the viewers, though, that I grades of A's and Dibes only accepts grades of a C or below. So just keep that in mind as you comment here and all of that.
All right. We are on a roll here. Hutchinson, number 1. Thibodeau to the Lions, number 2. I'm going to pause it. We have a run of tackles, Neal and Charles Cross, back to back here. That's pretty interesting. Carl Laftis was falling here to number 7. The Giants get him, which absolutely sucks. Derek Stingley is the first corner off the board. Here we're going to get a corner run, looks like here. Ajabo to the Jets. Kenny Pickett to Washington. Jordan Davis to the Vikings. I am on the clock here. The Cardinals want to trade up. I am not listening. All right, so here we are sitting at number 15. I've got Matt Corral just sitting there for a team that maybe I could possibly trade with someone that maybe would want a quarterback here. And I've got pick number 16. I'm not going to fool around. I'm going to just take who's on my – oh, yeah, we're not doing trades. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we reneging on that?
Yeah, my bad. I wasn't thinking. I get excited when I do these things. But I'm going to take Tyler Linderbaum here. We'll go into analysis after when we get our picks selected. But Tyler Linderbaum is my guy. You're up, man.
Okay, so do we want to talk about – oh, hold on. I got to get my screen. So are we going to talk about picks as we make them? Do we want to – how do you want to do that?
Let's make our picks, and then we'll grade it afterwards. We'll kind of break it down after.
Okay, so my board breaks a little bit differently than yours does. Looks like Kenny Pickett and Matt Corral both go off of the board, which makes David Ajabo fall down the board a little bit, which is ideal for me. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that in. I'm going to take David Ajabo, the edge from Michigan, at pick 15. Okay.
That's a good pick, man. That's a really good pick. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. I'm still on the board. Obviously, number pick 16. I'm going to go to my biggest need for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's a guy I'm really high on. He was number 5 on my edge rusher rankings, and that is Trey Walker out of Georgia. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but that is my selection. What are you going to do, dude?
Okay. So I take Ajabo at 15, which covers edge for me. I really like Tyler Linderbaum. If Jason Kelsey announced yesterday he was retiring, Linderbaum would be my pick here, but I can't do it. Not right now, not with some other guys on the board that I really want to go get. And so I'm going to go with Abed Gardner from Cincinnati.
Nice. Love that selection, man. I am on the board here at number 19. Kenyon Green is an interesting selection. I already got my guy Tyler Linderbaum. Devin Lloyd is just sitting there ready to be taken. And this is kind of going into my my debate inside my head. Do I go a major position of need for offense or defense? I've already got Linderbaum, who is a terrific selection there for my offensive line. I've got Trey Walker, who's a really, 3-down edge rusher here, but I got to address the position I need, and that is Devin Lloyd, outside linebacker here. That really is a jack of all trades kind of dude, can impact the game so many different ways. So that is my selection.
All right. So I've still got Linderbaum, but again, for the same rationale, I'm going to pass on him there. For me, it was going to come down to one of two guys, Devin Lloyd, who you just took. And so for the sake of keeping things interesting, I won't. And I'm going to go to the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to take Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC. If I could trade in a world where we were allowed to trade, there's no chance that I wouldn't be trading back here because there's several receivers on the board I like. But we're not trading, and I've run enough simulations, so all these guys are going to be 51. So I'm going to take Drake London.
Love that selection. Absolutely love that selection. I am on the board here at pick number 51. This is where you get into that quarterback range, man. This is where you get into that quarterback range. Some big names here are David Bell, like 6'2" wide receiver, big body wide receiver out of Purdue. Very interesting. John Mechie. I mean, before the season started, he would be a top 10 pick, arguably. Isaiah Spiller is really nice. I really like him a lot. Kingsley Enagbari is very strong. Drake Jackson is very strong. This is where it gets really. Darion Kendrick is a good player. A nice little number 2 corner to build here. And I'm going to go David Bell with my selection. I got to get Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith some help on the outside. David Bell is my selection. Pick number 51.
All right. That puts me up at 51 here. And two guys that I immediately like off of the board here is Christian Harris, the linebacker from Alabama, and Lewis Seen, the safety out of Georgia. Both needs for the Eagles, both needs that I have not addressed yet. Ultimately, safety is going to trump out over linebacker for me here, though. So I'm going to take Lewis Seen from Georgia.
It's a great selection. He was all over the place in the football playoff, man. He was one of the major names. No doubt about it. All right, I am on the clock. Is this mine? No, yours.
No, that's yours. I guess I shouldn't have logged in so it would stop offering me trades.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. All right, we are back on the clock here. Pick number 83. I'm going to go another guy. I'm going to double dip. And when I released my linebacker rankings, the number one guy that stood out to me that fits the Eagles to a T is Chad Mumma out of Wyoming. And I'll get into why. But I've got two linebackers here that are going to make an instant impact in the Eagles front seven. Chad Mumma is probably the best guy Eagles fans haven't heard yet. And if you haven't heard him, check out my rankings and go research him because I think his fit is a dream with this defense. You're up.
All right, I'm up. Another position of need I think is really important for the Eagles is running back. And I think a lot of people don't recognize the need that is. Miles Sanders going into a contract year. You got to do something here. I really like Kyron Williams, and I like his fit. And I didn't think he would be here at pick 83 and turn in that card. And I'm going to take Kyron Williams out of Notre Dame.
All right. I am on the board. Here we go. Pick number 120. Sorry. Pick number 120. I'm looking at who's available. Damari Mathis is interesting out of Pittsburgh. Channing Tindall. I like that guy. That was an interesting. Brian Asamoah from your school, Oklahoma, is an interesting name. Troy Anderson's an also really interesting name, a linebacker out of Montana State. I looked him up. He was fun, man. The guy's like just a utility guy. He can play offense, defense, linebacker, safety, corner. Like he played all over the place. That was a fun read for me. So I'm looking at these rankings, scrolling down a little bit. We're going to go back up here, and we're going to go Josh Jobe, Alabama. Again, just a number. Yeah, I don't have any corners. Josh Jobe out of Alabama for me is my selection for the Eagles here.
All right. Is 120 is our last pick in the 4th round, right? We just have the 1 4th rounder.
Yep.
I think that's right. Okay, well, I'm debating between a couple of linebackers here, an interior offensive line, but I'm going to stick with addressing some needs right now. I'm debating between David Lloyd from Houston and my guy from Oklahoma that you mentioned, Brian Asamoah. Two very different linebackers. Asamoah is more of your will linebacker. He's a decent guy in pass coverage, a good athlete. We have where'd he go? David Ania is more of a 3-4 outside linebacker hybrid. He's kind of a hybrid edge type of guy, which you might not think fits with the defense, but we saw early in the year Jonathan Gannon wanted to run some more of those hybrid looks, and we just had to get away from it because didn't have the personnel. But overall, the Eagles need somebody who is athletic and they can cover. So I am going to go with Brian Asamoah, the linebacker from Oklahoma, which fulfills my need to draft an Oklahoma player in every mock draft I do.
Love it. All right, you should be wrapping it up. I'm going to throw mine on the board here. Just quick grades. I took Linderbaum, number 15, Trey Walker, 16, Devin Lloyd, 19, David Bell, 51, Chad Mumma, 83, and Josh Jobe, 120. I think Linderbaum and Trey Walker are absolutely terrific players. You look at Brandon Brooks, you look at Jason Kelsey, and the interior offensive line for the Eagles is definitely up in the air. I think Tyler Linderbaum is just a match made in heaven for Jeff Stoutland, obviously. Trey Walker is 6'5", 275 pounds, but what makes him so amazing is his versatility. He can drop back in coverage. He's got extremely fluid hips. He can blitz from the inside or the outside. Again, another match made in heaven for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we know they love to rotate guys on the inside. So this is a 3-down edge rusher, Trey Walker, out of Georgia, that I think is a terrific fit. And he's got just great size, great athleticism. I think this is kind of, if I had to circle some guys on my Eagles big board, I think Trayvon Walker is just a guy that's super high on the Eagles board. Devin Lloyd at 19 is, like I said, a guy that can blitz inside or out. He can drop back in coverage. He can play downhill. He's got great size. He can cover tight ends and keep up with running backs. So there's really not a lot that Devin Lloyd doesn't do. So that guy is an instant, plug and play guy that is obviously a huge upgrade for the Eagles. David Bell, 6'2", big body guy that can play inside or in the slot. I like David Bell a lot. He's going to be, I am working on my wide receiver rankings right now, and he's going to be pretty high. He's going to be probably in that 7 to 9 range, I think. And I think this is a good value pick for David Bell. But obviously, I think my best value pick is Chad Mumma, a linebacker out of Wyoming. He is a more of a coverage linebacker, but he's got great size, a 6'3", terrific against the pass. And he's more of a kind of an outside linebacker, but he's got really good speed. He can go sideline to sideline. Chad Mumma is a guy that I think all Eagles fans should know about. Another guy like Trayvon Walker that I think fits this defense to a T. And then Josh Jobe is just a physical corner, a guy that would thrive playing more press. He's great against the run. He doesn't have elite measurables. He doesn't have elite physical speed or speed like long speed, but he makes up for it. He's just a good player. He would fit it. You don't know what you're getting with Steven Nelson. moving forward. I think Josh Jobe is a guy that doesn't necessarily have number one lockdown corner ceiling or potential, but at pick 120, I think he definitely can make an impact. He's, from Alabama. He's been playing a lot there for the Crimson Tide. So I think this is overall a solid, probably B+ draft where you're getting impact guys: Linderbaum, Walker, Lloyd, Bell, Mumma. Probably Josh Jobe doesn't start from day one, but I think my top 5 here are making big time impacts on day one. What about you, man?
All right, so let me throw mine back up here. So I've got with 15, I took David Ajabo, who is a guy with elite athleticism off the edge. He's got a background in high school track. I believe he won a state championship in the 100 meters. This guy can fly. He's a little raw, but that's okay. You have that athleticism, and he's flashed in college. I think he could be a big impact player. I've seen people push back on taking an edge early because they say you have Brandon Graham and you have Josh Sweat already. Where's he going to play? Well, you don't think about edges, especially the way the Eagles like to rotate in terms of starters. You think of having 3 or 4 guys that can play, and who knows how Brandon Graham comes back off that Achilles tear anyways. There's a lot of snaps for an edge. The Eagles are going to invest in an edge, and if Ajabo is there, he's a guy you've got to take. He should be off the board before 15. At 16, I took Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. Right now, he is my CB1. I'm quite a bit higher on him than the Draft Network is, and several other guys that I've listened to are also really high on him. I think this is a guy you're going to see rise up boards. He's got athleticism. He can play outside, so he's going to be your Steven Nelson replacement. I think he has upside as a CB1 down the road as Darius Slay starts to fall off or is moved, whatever, retires. He's 30. He's not getting any younger. And then Drake London. Drake London is a guy that I think I'm higher on than consensus. I think you are too, Dibes. I think was he your wide receiver one, or was that Mark? I can't remember. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, spoiler warning. My wide receiver rankings aren't out yet, but it's good.
Oh, shoot. My bad.
No, it's all good. I was going to say it anyways. Drake London is my favorite for the Eagles, my favorite wide receiver in this draft.
Yeah, he's 6'5". The guy's huge. He's athletic for a 6'5" guy. I mean, he's not going to go run a 4.3 40 or anything like that. His route running could use a little bit of cleanup. When you're 6'5", your body just doesn't move the same way that a 5'11" guy does. And so he doesn't create a lot of separation, which could concern people because that was the report on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. But this guy excels in contested catch. He knows how to use his body to create throwing windows. He's the perfect guy to be that X receiver for the Eagles that runs those backside slants and dig routes that Hurts can always go to. And even if he's not open, he's open. You can throw the ball up to him. And so I love Drake London. I would love that fit with the Eagles. At 51, I took Lewis Seen from Georgia. He is a great special teamer, which is always a plus for the Eagles. He is really good as a run defender at safety, which is really important if you're going to play these split field safety looks that the Eagles like to play. It takes the guy out of the box. You need someone that can come downhill. And so I would say his best attribute as a safety is in run defense. He's all over the field. But he would immediately be, a really good starter for the Eagles in the passing game too. He's not just going to play on run downs. At 83, Kyron Williams. The Eagles need I'm of the opinion you should be taking a day 2 or 3 running back nearly every draft, especially in a draft that's deep at running back like this and when you have so many picks. Miles Sanders is gone after this year. Kyron Williams' greatest ability is probably in the passing game, both as a receiver and a blocker. And so I think you can use him creatively. Can you imagine putting Kenny Gainwell and Kyron Williams in the backfield together? And what are teams going to do? Do you run base personnel? Well, we can motion those guys out into the slot, and we've got massive mismatches. If they go into nickel or to dime, you can run the ball. He's kind of a wide zone or an inside zone guy, which is going to fit well with Hurts' running style, threatening the edge. I think it'd be a great pickup for the Eagles there. And then lastly, at 120, Brian Asamoah, the linebacker from Oklahoma. He played Mike linebacker for OU. He probably projects to be a will linebacker in the NFL. He's got a lot of athleticism. He's pretty good in pass coverage. He struggled to get onto the field early in his career with Oklahoma. issues with like processing, and that is going to be an issue for him. He needs to be in a defense where he can just react. He can use his athleticism, nothing that's too complex. Jonathan Gannon runs one of the most basic vanilla defenses you've ever seen, so that's not going to be a huge issue for him. He's a guy that can spot drop, he can hit his landmarks, and then he can react and go chase guys, and I think that's a good fit for this defense. So that's my draft. Overall, since Dibes gave his a B+, I'm going to give mine an A-. I really like how the board shakes out here. And again, I'd love to trade back from 19 because I think you can get an impact receiver early in the second. I just don't love how the board falls in that late second round.
Yeah, I think A- is right on target. We have a comment from Ted saying how he's not using all 3 picks. This is a no trade mock. So I think both of us agree here that, Howie is absolutely going to, throw assets to next year's draft just in case with this quarterback situation going on here. Dizzle says, I'm taking half and half. Mark, he wins. We haven't done voting yet. It doesn't mean anything. We haven't done the voting yet. You guys will decide.
I agree, though. I agree.
By the way, this is one of my favorite videos from this past college football season. This is my guy, Drake London. Look at this.
Oh, it's so good. They move him in the slot, right? How are you going to defend Drake London? How about that route? Oh, it's so good. They move him in the slot, right? How are you going to defend Drake?
Like, the NFL is a mismatched league, man. The dude is 6'5". How do you stop that? How do you put that guy all over the field with Devontae on the other side or right next to him, man? The potential is absolutely terrific. Dizzle says Sauce, Gardner, and Ajabo put this defense on fire. I fully agree. I love that.
Can I share a Drake London stat with you?
Yeah.
Drake London led the NCAA this year in contested catches. He only played in 8 games. Dude played 8 games, and he led the NCAA in contested catches. Yeah. And so, I mean, he's the type of guy, like, he's only going to get better as a route runner, but he will win. He's a red zone threat. I mean, you see how Hurts targets Dallas Goedert. Drake London is Dallas Goedert, but faster. And so it would be a huge win. And it's just one of those set pieces too. Like, you can use Drake London and he's going to be a good blocker and he can give you an advantage against corners in the running game, but you sure can't put a linebacker on him. And I'm all about those set pieces that you can move around. I'm not saying you would ever line him up like in line to block, but I'm saying that he's going to be a plus. He creates mismatches no matter where he's at.
Yeah, I do have concerns about Hurts and the deep ball accuracy and stuff, but for, if you want to, really inject life in this offense, it comes at third down. I think Drake London was going to be a terrific third down target in the middle of the field, in the slot. Just being that safety blanket for Jalen Hurts is massive. Having that kind of guy that can go up and get the ball, because let's be honest, Jalen Hurts is not the most accurate quarterback in terms of processing and getting the ball with anticipation with 2 our guys there in those short routes. So Drake London would be just a match made in heaven. Like, I go to like what the Eagles need. I look at like Chris Godwin, a third down target. I want let's start here and then we'll build with Jalen Hurts going down the road. And that means those like between the sticks, those third and shorts. That's just a simple way to get and improve this Eagles offense. So let's wrap it up, man. Where can we find you, Shane?
You can follow me on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. You can follow, my podcast does not have a Twitter account, but I tweet out about it. It's at Chalk Talk on Apple Podcasts. We also live stream it on YouTube. We actually have an episode going live in about 35 minutes at 2:00 Eastern time. So I will tweet it out. Join us. We'd love to have you guys comment. We're going to be running down the divisional round games, previewing the conference title games. And then we're going to answer some Eagles mailbag questions and take a look at the Eagles offense and kind of power rank the needs the Eagles entered the offseason with on the offensive side of the ball. So it'd be a fun show. I'm looking forward to that. So join us.
Guys, and if you love, live mock drafts, this is our 4th one. So go back and check out our previous mocks. And I put up polls of, I want you to kind of comment and grade on all of these mocks. Leave a comment down below. Message my man Shane on Twitter. Message me on Twitter. I've got my linebacker rankings. I've got my cornerback rankings. And I've got my edge rusher rankings. I've got already shows on quarterbacks already out of the NFL draft. Next up is wide receivers, and spoiler warning, Drake London will be number 1 on my board. We've been kind of raving about this, dude. It turned into somehow a Drake London podcast. I'm all for it, though. I'm here for it. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Please be sure to smash that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Tons and tons of draft content on the way. For Shane, for myself, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.
Third down. Hurts keeps. Hurts cuts. Hurts has the first down. And Jalen Hurts. But he just put it away for the Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.